Hello everyone and welcome to our show. Today we discuss about content marketing and how you can unite content marketing with leadership. I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Diego Pineda. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Anatoly. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, for me it's a big pleasure. I want to learn more about leadership, about content marketing because it's my passion. So, yeah, why not? And before we start, I want to introduce our sponsor, SEO Ranking, a top related all in one SEO platform. I like SEO Ranking for their very accurate trend tracker tool, which shows your daily rankings for your website in 5 search engines for any location, device, and language. You can monitor Google Maps results in 35 search features for every keyword and much more. Just Google Serenkin Rent Tracker and explore 14 days of the software for free. Before we start, just tell more about your experience, background, and tell why you decided to share with us about content marketing and leadership.
Right. So I'm an author and a B2B marketer. Been doing this for quite a long time. Been in content for about 17 years. And I started as a medical writer, then moved into business writing, sales and marketing, and in the past 4 years been working with tech companies and SaaS companies doing B2B marketing. And also very, very interested in thought leadership and how to move from normal, traditional, regular content marketing into thought leadership, which is something that I'm really passionate about. And that's something that we get a chance to talk about today.
Nice, nice. Okay, can you tell where to start? How to create marketing strategy if you wanna become in one day to have this leadership position, probably the best on the field. Where to start? How to create this content plan and some other tips that you need to consider during the way.
Okay, so if you want to become a thought leader in your niche, it depends on your industry. It depends if you're a solopreneur or you're a company. But the most important thing is to have something different to say. So you need a POV or a point of view, a unique angle. And what I usually recommend, and the companies I work with and the people I work with, is I tell them you have to create a framework that defines the steps or the systems or the processes that you follow so other people can also follow them. Because if you just post stuff randomly, let's say, what many marketers do, or many content marketers do, or content creators, is they post about, they have a few topics and they have blogs about each topic and they have social media posts about this topic. But if someone was going to say, okay, how do I implement all this? They would have to search for hours and try to go through every post, every blog to find it, right? Because they don't have a central place where their framework, their thinking is organized in a step by step framework. So the first thing is okay, you need to have a point of view and you need to create a framework with that point of view that you have, that unique way of you doing things or solving a problem. So basically, for marketers, we have people who have problems and we solve that problem. And what we can say is, okay, this is the problem. This is the old way to solve that problem. Now, this is the new way. This is the new way I'm offering for you how to solve that problem. And then we create content around that. We create a framework. And then we start creating content around that framework. Can be a book, which is the best one. So you have everything organized, but you can create podcasts, blogs, reports, whatever, but all always based on that framework and based on
Mhm,
that point of view. So I would say that's the
mhm.
first
Love.
thing.
Yeah, so valuable. Okay, can you tell how to find the right ideas, what to post, and to share value on this post? Because I see when companies have the struggle to find great ideas, to share something new, and you mentioned that it's better to avoid, yeah, generic stuff that everyone does. Can you tell about uniqueness of your ideas and how do we know that it can help our audience on their ways or daily lives?
Yeah. So the traditional way of doing content marketing, at least this is what we did years ago, is that, okay, you think, okay, what do we want to be found for? So we do some SEO research. We find the keywords that we want to be found for, usually high search volume keywords. And then we create pillar topics and we create a cluster, we create blocks around it, content. So Google, we find it. and then what we want to do is get found on Google, right? But that's the old
Mhm.
way. So I say, instead of just saying, here's the list of keywords, create content around those keywords, or maybe about, our product, let's create content around disruptive ideas. So what I say is, come on, um, what's a best practice in my industry? Is that always true? So you start questioning stuff. What is it that people always do in my industry, or something that's considered a dogma? And then you
Mhm.
ask yourself, is that always true? When is it? Is there an exception for that? And then you could start questioning, and you create disruptive ideas, or you find, okay, what are the most common mistakes people are making in my industry, and you write
Mhm.
about those, right? So for instance, I give you an example. So I'm talking about why traditional content marketing needs to evolve and become thought leadership. So I wrote an article called "Content Marketing is Dying: Long Live Thought
Mhm.
Leadership," and that article went viral. Like, and it had people very mad about it. Some people saying, "Oh, exactly my thoughts," right? Because I was going against the grain and telling people we have to do things differently, and I was being
Mhm.
provocative, saying content marketing is dying. And some people got really offended. Like, how do you dare say content marketing is dying? And other people say, yeah, you're right. We have to do things differently. We have to go deeper, instead of just trying to get rankings. We should just try to change things, and change minds, and change the industry, instead of just doing a bunch of stuff writing for Google. Let's try to actually predict the future, and predict new trends, and where our industry is going. So it's just trying to be disruptive, and not maintaining the status quo.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I see when content creators just copy influencers, famous bloggers, but it's interesting that influencers have their strong sides. And for example, if you open TikTok, someone is dancing or singing, and they have this strong sides, the skills to get this high engagement. It doesn't mean that you can do it, because for example, I can't sing, I can't dance, so if I do it on TikTok, I will fail 100%
Yeah.
because it's not my strong side. And we need to stand out from the rest by using our strong sides. Can you tell, for example, I see when companies check out the average data, videos get viral or high engagement, but when they are not good with filming videos, they fail. They can't get the same engagement, but they can write. For example, to write some interesting, excitement post as you did with this article. By the way, I like the headline of your article. I think the success, 80% of success was on your headline, and the rest. Uh, I don't want to tell that the rest is not good, but I mean, I know only about the headline, and yeah, it's catchy. I want to read it. I will do it. You guys, you need to do it. Just search for this article. And can you tell more about choosing your strong side? Because content creators still copy others, still try to replicate the rest stuff. But how do we can develop and I mean, like our own skills and think, okay, I'm excited about that. I wanna share more value about that. I wanna use this stuff. Can you tell more about that?
Yeah. So before that, I like to say a word about influencers. So I would say that the difference between an influencer and a thought leader is that influencers say, follow me. Thought leaders
Mm-hmm.
say, follow my ideas.
Uh-huh.
Right. So, and that's a big difference. But yeah, so there's two things. First, what are you comfortable creating and you like doing it, right? If you hate being in front of a camera, don't just do video because people are doing video, right? If you hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But if your strong suit is writing, go for it. And then what's resonating with your audience? So you may be tempted to say, oh, this is what I want to do, but maybe you don't get any engagement, right? So you have to look for your audience, and you have to go to where your audience is hanging out, right? So my audience is hanging out on LinkedIn, so that's where I usually post, right, and engage conversations. And for me, I find that I like writing, and people respond to my writing.
Mm-hmm.
But for other people, they want to enjoy writing. So they try podcasts, they try video, they try images, they try memes. And if your audience responds to that and it resonates with them, then you should do that. So it's two things: what are you comfortable with, and what resonates with your audience, and just go for it. Like, don't be afraid. And I would say, stick with it for a while. If you're just starting out, at least not giving 90 days to post consistently every day and see the response of the people. Then you can try something else, test different things, test different platforms, but really go to where your audience hangs out. Don't try
Mm-hmm.
to make I don't know, children's videos on YouTube, because kids don't. I'm saying on LinkedIn, because kids don't hang out on LinkedIn, right? Maybe YouTube, right? So it's just finding where your audience is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. Uh, can you tell about patience and consistency? Because, for example, if someone wanna become a leader in one day, it takes time, yeah, to fail many times, to share content without any engagement. Uh, and I see when content creators give up because they can't feel these results. But I remember when Mr. Beast tried to grow his audience, he spent an year and a half to get only 1,000 subscribers. Today he has 100 million subscribers. Uh, PewDiePie spent he filmed 100 videos to get only 285 subscribers. So he filmed 100 videos to get only two, I don't know, a teeny percent of his network right now, like more than 100 million subscribers. Can you tell about patience? Because leaders are not born to be leaders, you know, they made themselves to be leaders. Can you tell how to be patient during the way when you have no engagement, when others don't care about your content, and how long does it take to I don't know, to go this way?
Yeah, it's a good question, because uh, I've been there. I've been there. Like, okay, I've been posting little engagement on this, right? So, I mean, there are two things. One thing is, yeah, being patient, but also you have to read the signals, and you have to know when something is resonating and when it's not. Um, there's the problem, I think, is comparison, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
comparing yourself to this other content creator who has 100,000 followers, has millions of views, and then you're saying, I'm not getting there yet, I'm not there, so I'm getting discouraged. That's the problem. So what I would say is, be consistent, yes, but also start tweaking and start getting signals, and start getting, maybe something's not working. So try different things to see what works. Look at the analytics. And also, I would say, get into a community of creators, get into a community where of your niche audience. For me, my niche, when I started writing about solo thought leadership, with solopreneurs. So I got into
Mm-hmm.
communities of solopreneurs, and I would ask them, "Hey, do you like this? What do you think about this post, or what do you think about this headline, or this piece of content?" And I would get feedback, and then I post, and then I ask them to look at it. So it's more about getting conversation and getting the community, and that's going to be a boost. If you're just posting stuff out, and that's it, and waiting for people to come, well, it's going to be frustrating. But if you get involved in communities and share that content, and you start engaging with your content, so there's going to be a community around your topic. So that's going to give you a boost, and that's when, maybe I have to make a change. Maybe this is not working, so I have to pivot. But if it's working,
Mm-hmm.
just keep at it, and don't compare yourself to the person who's at the top, right? If I'm just starting running, I cannot compare myself to the Olympic medalist. I need
Mm-hmm.
to compare myself to someone who's at my level, right? And compete with myself, right? What's my potential? What can I do? And just go from there. So it's not different from anything else in life. You got to be patient, but you have to stop those comparisons. And I would say, just get into a community and start engaging with people there in the communities. And that's going to give you feedback on your content so you can improve it.
Yeah, valuable. Okay, I think we don't need to compare with others, but I love to learn from them. For example, from Steve Jobs, from Elon Musk. Can you tell what kind of difference they have? I mean, like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, because I see they don't use a lot of marketing, but people follow them everywhere. People love their activities. For example, today Elon Musk can post one tweet and get high engagement to sell 100,000 Tesla, just by sharing this tweet. Steve Jobs did this great job before when he I don't know, when he presented a new iPhone or iPod or any other great gadgets that we use today. Can you tell about their leadership? Why people follow them without even marketing?
So it's interesting, and this is something that thought leaders do, is that they talk to people personally. They have a face,
Hmm.
and something that companies sometimes make mistakes is that they just post stuff from their company page, and people follow people. They don't follow logos, right? So that's what marketing from Apple and Tesla is different from the image that Steve Jobs had and Elon Musk has right now. So
Hmm.
if you look at their Twitter accounts, Elon Musk has more followers than Tesla, right? Because people want to follow people. They want to
Hmm.
see a face, right? Not just a logo talking. Uh, and they want to connect on a personal level. That's one thing, right? The face. And the second
Yeah.
thing is what I talked about at the beginning, being disruptive, be having a point of view. And, both Elon and Steve Jobs, they had a really particular point of view. They had some opinions. They're opinionated about certain things, and they create controversy. So that's gonna make them follow. And the good thing of being opinionated and not trying to please everybody is it's gonna make people say, okay, I do want to follow him or her, or I don't agree. So what it does is that it repels people who shouldn't be following your brand and attracts people who are part of your tribe. So that's what they both did. They were
Hmm.
out there, and this is what I see many companies and many CEOs fail to do, is that they want their marketing team to do everything. They want
Hmm.
the marketing team to just create a nice branding, nice images, logos, whatever, but they don't want to be the face of the company, and that's a big mistake. And you see
Hmm.
the companies that grow faster, and especially in marketing, are those whose leaders are out there putting their face out and writing and doing videos and doing podcasts, because people want to follow people.
Yeah, I think some companies, when CEOs don't want to show their faces, they can hire someone else who can do it this job.
They can hire.
For example, yeah, many big companies, they their CEOs are not interested with that. They're not good with. They can manage the process, handle the process, encourage the team, but they don't like it. So that's okay. You can hire someone else who can uh, show your face, to communicate with others. Many companies have it, so nothing is wrong with that. uh, can you tell about developing these leadership skills? You mentioned that you need to go to social media groups to communicate with others, and what we can do on these groups, we can learn from others what they want to get, or we can share value to build our community. Can you tell more about how much time to spend on social media groups to communicate with others, and what kind of activity to provide on these groups?
So I would say, I mean, depending if this is your full time gig, or you just doing a side gig or something, but at least to spend an hour a day interacting with people on social media and in your
Mhm.
community, whether it's Slack groups, Discord communities, or Facebook groups. Spend like an hour a day just answering questions, giving value, also posting questions, being interested in sharing valuable content and thoughts, and just be human. It's part of building relationships, and building friendships. When people are trying to sell you something, and it's like when people connect with you on LinkedIn and they send you a connect message and they ask you a random question, and this is not honest, right? They're trying to just trying to make conversation so they can pitch their product. So just be helpful, just provide a lot of it happened with me. Like, people, I'm an author, and I also a book coach, so people would ask me questions about writing a book and their ideas, and I would give them, I would say, let's just have a 15-minute chat, 20-minute chat, and I won't charge you for it, and I'll give you my advice. Then if you want to hire me, it's okay. If not, I don't care, right? But I'm giving them
Mhm.
value, and people will say, oh, they start recommending me, even though they never work with me, just because I gave them 20 minutes of my time to
Mhm.
listen to them. I give them some advice. So just be helpful, and yeah, an hour a day would be good for you to engage with those communities.
Yeah, I think without value, without helping others, it's hard, to go ahead, because today we can't manipulate, we can't cheat people. So people wanna get value first. They never will buy without getting value first. So yeah, I completely agree with that. Uh, can you share about writing books? You mentioned that you can help with that. I have this goal in mind, not today, not even tomorrow, but yeah, in the future I will. So I consider it. Can you tell how to write a book today? What kind of skills to develop? I know that the best thing is to write. Yeah, just actually write. But I usually write every single day, post on social media, articles. Yeah, it's I have other priorities. But your tips, how to develop your skills before writing a book?
Okay, so why write a book is because nothing spells out thought leadership like a published book. So you
Hmm.
may say you're an expert in something, but it's hard to prove if you haven't written a book about it.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm an expert in something. Just go check my LinkedIn. Just check my Twitter, and read my tweets to see that I'm an expert. Right? It's like, okay, there's a bunch of stuff here, but how do you know you're an expert? Oh, I have this book where I lay out the process that I follow, and it has these reviews, and it shows this or has won this awards. Oh, okay, and you see podcasts with people would say, my guest today is so and so, the author of, right? So it opens doors for you. So that's why you should write a book, because it opens doors, it shows your expertise, and many other reasons. And what I said, if you have a framework, what you're going to do is you're going to write a book uh, with that framework. So the first thing you need to do is, just write it. You can work with an editor to make it better. Publishing is a sports team, so you're the writer, but you can have an editor, you can have a book coach, you can have designers, you can have promoters, marketers. So it's a sports team, and you're just one of the players, right? But you're the most important one, because you're going to write a book, and it's your ideas, and it's your framework, it's your process. So just
Hmm.
start writing it, find the time, find the place. So I would say, first thing, okay, choose a topic, and then write an outline. Write the table of contents. What would I just brainstorm it? Okay, these are the topics I would put in the book, and you brainstorm
Hmm.
your table of contents, and then you say, okay, let's organize this to see if it makes sense. What would be the first, second step to follow my process? And then go and look to everything that you have, all your posts, your talks, your radio shows, or whatever you have, and look for content and create. Let's go in Notion or Evernote. Create a note for each chapter, and then go look for, let's say you have a blog on this topic, you copy and paste under that note all the content you have for that topic, and then you do that. And once you come back and you've done that, you found that you already have a lot of content for your book.
Hmm.
Now what you have to do is organize it, fill in the gaps what you don't have yet, go interview some people, do some research to get some statistics, quotes, resources, and just finish it up and polish
Hmm.
it, and then work with an editor. So that's a very quick overview. I help people with the process and all that, but that's a quick overview. And I have a podcast. It's called The Solo Author: Demystifying book writing for busy solopreneurs. So I just talk about this. Like every week, I talk about this. Like it's not that hard. It's because there's a lot of myths about writing a book, and if you just dispel those myths, you'll find it's not that hard. It just takes know what to do, get the work, and just write it.
Yeah, love it, love it. Yeah, exactly. I think it's the same like to read books how to play tennis or how to play soccer. If you don't actually play, I don't know how many books you need to read to be a great soccer player or sportsman. You need to train. Sportsmen don't read; they train. They go to the field. They spend time with consistency training every single day, 2 3 times. So it's the same with writing. You can read a lot of books or learn how to write, but if you don't write, if you don't spend time with writing, so yeah, it's impossible to go ahead. So yeah, I completely agree with you. um, can you tell about common mistakes that you can see people do? Probably it's obsolete or it doesn't work, but they still do, and uh, how to find much better way.
Okay, so one of the mistakes is not creating real intellectual property, but
Hmm.
just having their knowledge out there without organizing it in bite-sized chunks on social media, and not organizing their content in a way that people can access it. That could be an archive, very well organized archive of their blog by topics or their podcast, or as I said, a book. So create intellectual property that just lasts through time. So treat your content as a professional, right? I mean, if you're a musician, you wouldn't just make songs or and just publish a bit of a song here, the other piece of the song over there, and just pieces of the songs, and never release an album, right? That
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense. But content creators do that. They release bits and pieces here and there, and they don't have something that people would say, okay, this is where your content is, this is what you talk about, I can understand your framework and your way of thinking, right? So that's
Hmm.
one thing. Organize your content, create intellectual property, real assets. Another one
Hmm.
is get your business organized. um, Monetize your content. Don't just always write for free. And some people say, "You just give for free for a year, for a couple of years, and then clients will come." I say that's not the best way to do it. I mean, you wouldn't start a business, you wouldn't start a restaurant and just give away food for free for a year because you expect people to say, "Oh, it's a very good restaurant," and then start charging after a year. No, you will go broke, right? Because the food, the service, the place, everything has cost. Well, guess what? Your time creating that content is also valuable.
Hmm.
So I would say from the start, create a digital product or create a subscription or something that people will want to buy, and you can monetize your content. Hey, but I don't have a big audience. Well, yeah, that's true. You're gonna build your audience, but maybe you're solving a problem that someone has and that person is ready to buy from you, but because you're waiting to monetize it for a year, what's going to happen, that person is going to buy from somebody else. If you just had the product, then people would buy from you. So that's another thing. Just
Hmm.
organize your content, monetize it, make sure it's something profitable for you, because you're giving value, and you have to value what value you are given, right? You have to say, yeah, this is worth it. So those
Hmm.
mistakes are not creating intellectual property and organizing their content, and two is not monetizing their content, and you know not treating it as a business.
Yeah, love it, love it. Uh, can you tell about focusing? For example, in my daily routine, I need to do 20 tasks, and I think the nature can give me 48 hours a day, not 24. It's not enough, but in reality I can't do all the stuff, so I choose priorities more important for me. And I see when many content creators, they usually cover a lot. For example, they wanna be successful on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn. It's possible. I don't deny it's possible, but if you have resources, if you have time, if you have resources, if you have a team, like Gary Vee has a team like 15 people who can help him to create this content, to repurpose everywhere. Uh, and I think it's a good idea when you have two hands only, or only not a lot of resources. It's better to pay attention to one direction, to focus. Can you tell more about focusing, how to learn your focusing, and how to create discipline to control this focusing? Because many things can interrupt your process, disturb you. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, so two things. Yes, I agree that you have to focus on one or two channels that you can manage, and once you have a cadence and you have, you know how it works, and you can automate one channel, then you can go to the next one and just repurpose two other ones. But yeah, we're no Gary V. We cannot do what he does because we don't have a people. Most of us don't have a people of 15 guys or girls just doing whatever we want and following us around with a camera and reposting everything we do. But that's what we have. That's what we have to focus. So I would say, I mentioned earlier, go to where your audience is hanging out. So
Mhm.
your audience is probably not hanging out on every single platform. So why would you go to Reddit if your audience is not in Reddit? Or why would you go to TikTok if your audience is not in TikTok? Just because TikTok is popular doesn't mean you have to do it. It's the same thing. It's just because something is on sale doesn't mean you have to buy it, right? You only buy it if you need it. So you only go to a platform if you really need to go there because your audience is there and you're missing out. But it's not just because it's popular and everybody else is doing it. So just focus on where your audience is, and if your audience may be in different places, test it. So go on it full on one for 90 days, or go on both. So let's say you want to test LinkedIn and Instagram. Go on both full on for 90 days. And then at the end of the 90 days, check the results. Which one worked better? Which one brought you better results? More engagement, more people following you, maybe clients. You got leads, you got sales. Oh, this one
Mhm.
won. LinkedIn won. Okay, so let's get rid of Instagram, or the other way around. Instagram won, so let's get rid of LinkedIn and just focus on that. And do that for a year. And if a year you automate it and have everything, okay, what else can I do? Where can I go now and do something different, right? So you see
Yeah,
people who are very successful, like Justin Welch, like he started only on LinkedIn, and when he was really successful on LinkedIn, he moved to Twitter,
yeah,
and then he's successful on both, right? But he didn't start doing both at the same time. Now he's doing both at the same time because he figured one out. You have to figure
agree.
one out, and then you know what works, you know what resonates, and just adapt the same content, but adapt it to the format and the style of this new platform.
Yeah, I like this idea. For example, Charlie D'Amelio, she grew on TikTok, but then she extended to Instagram, YouTube. And I remember when she came to Gary Vee and asked for advice what to do. And he told her, you need to double your energy with TikTok. Just double your energy if you going viral. So just keep doing this, increase. Then in some time you can extend your resources to other channels by hiring a team, and when you have a team, why not, you can grow to other channels. So yeah, completely agree with you. Okay, can you tell, for example, let's imagine you started from scratch without any experience, knowledge, skills. What will you do to learn more about leadership and content marketing?
Okay, so I mean, when you're starting from scratch, you have to become a student and
Mhm,
and read everything about it. And but what I say to people, if you want to be a thought leader, you have to, in your industry, you have to go broad and go deep. So first you go deep. Okay, you know the basics of your industry, or let's say basic of marketing, of digital marketing. You know the basics.
mhm,
You read all the basics. Now you have to go broad. Okay, I need to learn from other disciplines. And I say to people, read authors who don't agree with what you think, with
mhm,
opposite views. Watch TED Talks of other fields, of other industries, because that's when innovation comes, when you expose yourself to different ideas, and not just, what we call confirmation bias. If you just read and listen and watch stuff that confirm what you already believe, then that's where you're going to get stuck. There's not going to be innovation, there's not going to be thought leadership. So you have to go outside of your area of expertise that you're building up becoming a student, and start getting new ideas and combining things. If you look at the history of inventions came when people just got two things that were seemingly not related, but they created something new, right?
Mhm.
Even in categories like in a category like car making, like they got an SUV and a luxury car, and now we got luxury SUVs. Or you got opposites like go camping and staying at a fancy hotel, and you got glamping, which is fancy camping, right? So you
Mhm.
have to start uniting things, and the way you do that is just becoming a student, but also reading broadly, having other um, artistic hobbies, and looking at stuff that's usually not in your radar, because people tend to keep to stay in the radar, in their zone of comfort, and just reading and looking at stuff that confirms what they already believe. So just go outside that, and that's how you start becoming uh, an expert, an innovator, and then you have to become an educator. Whatever you learn, just share it and build in
Yeah.
public, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, nice, nice, so valuable. Okay, can you tell what all people need to do? Just one thing that it's very important. We can't avoid it, and if we wanna grow, we need to do this one thing. Tell it.
Okay, just one thing.
Yeah, one thing. For example, if I can do two things.
Okay, so one thing you should do is, if you wanna become a thought leader, is uh, uh, let's see how do you word it. Get some time to think. So there's a phrase that I like, that the thinking about thinking is the best kind of thinking, and this is
Mm-hmm.
Chris Lochhead who says that thinking about thinking is the best kind of thinking. So I think
Mm-hmm.
the problem we have right now is that we just go out and we read something and we click like, and we just want to agree with everything. So if you can do one thing to just differentiate yourself, is stop and think. Why do I
Mm-hmm.
believe what I believe? Why do I say that I agree with this? And start questioning your beliefs, and start questioning what you usually agree with, and spend time thinking. So if you, before you write a piece of content, you think uh, through the topic, and try to also destroy your own arguments, then you'll find a new way. And I'll give you an
Mm-hmm.
example. Uh, People in marketing say all the time, and there's this a dogma: you have to be customer centric. Amazon is customer obsessed, and the best companies are customer obsessed. So I ask myself, is this always true? Is there a moment in time where being customer centric is not really the best thing to do? And I found that the answer is yes. When you're evangelizing a new product, a new category, something people don't know exists or is going to help them, you have to go against the grain and be
Mm-hmm.
mission centric. This is my mission, and this is what I'm going to do. When people said to Elon Musk, "You're crazy. Electric cars, that's not going to work." He said, "Yes." SpaceX is going to work. Yes, it's going to work, right? So he wasn't being customer centric. He was mission centric, and that
Mm-hmm.
came because, I guess, he thought. So stop. That's the one thing. Stop and think before you write. Stop and think and question everything. That would be my
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah, love it, love it. I think thinking is good, but overthinking is bad, as for my opinion. When people overthink, uh, do I need to do or not? Do don't care about. You can fail. That's okay. You can learn from that. But for me, acting is more important. And I remember when I've learned about Jeff Bezos, when he got a lot of researches about do one new product or not, and he replied, guys, nobody knows, start doing this, start creating this product. So I think overthinking can hurt, but thinking, deep researching is good. Yeah, I agree with you. I have the final question about the future. uh, can you tell what kind of leader will be in the future?
Okay, in terms of thought leadership, I think we're gonna see more is people. There's this concept that Apple started like 20 years ago, and it was about the brand evangelist and someone who was just treat the brand as something like convincing people, hey, you have to be an Apple fan, and they have this huge list of Apple fans, and they were just
Mhm.
like, it was like a religious seal about it. And I see the future of marketing more than just pushing out products. It's pushing out a mission centric message that says this is what we want to change. We want to have a better lifestyle. So what we're marketing is the category. What we're marketing is the problem and the solution. We're not just marketing brands. We're not just marketing products, right? So I see many companies starting to do this, and I think this is the future where we'll see more people saying, okay, we need to talk about the products. I'm sorry, we're going to talk about the problems and the solutions, evangelize the category, and then people will say, okay, how can you help me? We can offer them our solution. But instead of just talking about, Nike or Apple or, whatever brand, or Coca-Cola or Pepsi all the time, this is what we do. This is what we help with. And this is, I mean, you can go to anyone because there's many people. So I know some brand evangelists that would say, for instance, I was talking to one of the Gainsight is one of the companies that started talking a lot about customer success, and they wrote a book about customer success.
Mhm.
And the evangelist for them, he gives talks about customer success. He doesn't talk about the product. He doesn't talk about the company, but they get a lot of clients from his talks. But he just talks about customer success and why it's important and how to do it. So that's what I
Yeah.
mean. That's where we're moving towards, right? I can be talking here and helping people. Hey, this is how you do marketing, thought leadership marketing. And I'm not talking about my book. I'm not talking about my courses. I'm not talking about my services. I'm just helping people and evangelizing this. Hey, you have to become a thought leader. Go beyond content marketing and just create thought leadership. And then some people will say, I get it. I will run with it. And other people will say, okay, I want to learn more from Diego. I'm going to buy his book, or I'm going to get in touch with him or follow him on LinkedIn or whatever. Right. But that's putting value over just promotion. I think that's the
Okay,
future.
guys, guys, I can tell that I follow Diego. I learn from him. You can see a lot of valuable insights. So valuable. It's a big pleasure, Diego. Get you on my show. Tell our audience how they can reach out to you, learn more about you, follow you.
Yeah, so you can go to my website, diegopineda.ca, or you can just look for me on LinkedIn, Diego Pineda, and happy to connect with you on LinkedIn and chat.
Okay, guys, you can find all these links in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. Welcome back anytime back, to share more value. So I love it. Everyone needs to follow Diego. You can see a lot of valuable insights. Love you. See you.
Thanks.